New Pokemon Snap looks absolutely gorgeous. To the point, when I was watching the new trailer, I didn't have anything to comment on except for how beautiful the games looked, and it just kept on getting better and better, and my excitement built more and more. But because new Pokemon Snap looks so good, there's been a building discussion, or at least something going on in the back of everyone's minds. If new Pokemon Snap can look like this, then why didn't Game Freak make Pokemon Sword and Shield look as good? And that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video, and I ask that you please watch the entire video, because we are going to make a revelation on this question that will blow your mind. So please also share this video with all your friends, social media, leave a like as well. So the first thing is, we look at this and we go, yeah, why don't Pokemon Sword and Shield look that good? Well, the first thing people are pointing to is the developer. We have Bandai Namco Studios. This is what a Bandai Pokemon game looks like. This is what a Game Freak Pokemon game looks like, and people, they want to see Bandai taking the reins now. So here's a comment I found as the top comment on the Pokemon Facebook post, and it echoes a lot of what you're going to see anywhere on social media. YouTube, Twitter, you're going to find a lot of the same sentiment in the top comments, so let's break it down. This put Pokemon Sword and Shield to downright shame. Take a good long look, Game Freak. This is what high quality, expressive animations look like. The Pokemon look alive. They feel alive. For crying out loud, Torchic crisped an apple, and I definitely recall its Pokedex entry stating that the species does this for food. That is true attention to detail. This is what Pokemon should look like in this era. Not rescuing outdated, lazy animations that age like moldy cheese, cutting corners, and lying. Way to go, Bandai, for curb stomping Game Freak. This is the level of quality to expect from you guys. I would love to see you tackle a main series Pokemon game. You might also be familiar with another Pokemon game that Bandai has made, Pokken Tournament. Another incredible looking Pokemon game. But also doesn't end there. People don't just stop at developers that have made games for Pokemon that aren't Game Freak. Pretty much any RPG on the Nintendo Switch or in the Nintendo ecosystem is going to be compared to Pokemon Sword and Shield. We have Xenoblade, of course Breath of the Wild, also Dragon Quest. You know, why does Dragon Quest look so good and Pokemon Sword and Shield look so lifeless? Well, I want to be fair here because this is an unfair comparison. You can find trees, you can find more lively areas in the wild area, or in Pokemon Sword and Shield, you can also find flat, undeveloped places in any of those other games. And that's where the narrative starts to fall apart, because like I said, there's a lot of comments like that, but from here on, we are going to completely debunk them. So remember when I said to share this video earlier? See someone spout this nonsense? Share this video, set them straight, because we are about to dig into the facts. Now let's go back to Pokken Tournament. A game with such high graphic fidelity that it feels like Game Freak will never even come close to making something that looks like it. Well, the models, they're actually not Bandai's. This is not Bandai's Pokemon. The models were made by Creatures. And anyone familiar with the Pokemon company, Game Freak, or Creatures knows that they make models for the main series Pokemon games, like Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and Pokemon Sword and Shield. So Creatures supplies the models for Bandai, and they also supply the models for Game Freak, which means it's going to be the same for new Pokemon Snap. These are not going to be, this is not Bandai's Pokemon Snap. This is Creatures. This is the Pokemon Company's Pokemon Snap. It's the same as Pokemon Sword and Shield. And even when you look at the Pokken models, it's just the base 3D Pokemon models that have been passed around for years now with just different textures. Because guess what? Different games are made to be different. That's something we're going to revisit as we go on further. But I want to talk more about Creatures, because Creatures makes a lot of 3D assets for pretty much everything Pokemon, and that's where we get into the 3D CG company. And this goes back to an interview with Game Freak from a couple of years ago about the development of the Generation 7 games. because Game Freak outsources a lot of the work on the games. That one argument I see is like, oh, Game Freak only has like 120 employees. Why don't they double or triple that? Because Pokemon's the largest franchise in the world, and then they can make a real Pokemon game. Except that's completely false, because when you look at Pokemon Sun and Moon, 500 people, over 500 people worked on that. For Pokemon Sword and Shield, 1,000 people worked on that. That's because the Pokemon Company has different branches, like Pokemon 3D CG and Creatures, that created a workflow that we saw from that interview. So these companies work together, and it's not, oh, Game Freak can't make a Pokemon model, or oh, they don't know how to design anything. No, it's the same thing that we're seeing with Bandai. The models are the same, and the development flow is the same as well. The only difference is that Game Freak made the game they wanted to make. And you also can't use the argument that Game Freak isn't good enough to make it look like Pokken Tournament or make it look like new Pokemon Snap, because we've seen that Game Freak is very capable of making incredible CG. At the end of one of Pokemon Sword and Shield trailers, where Zacian is dueling Zamazenta. This is all the same stuff. This is how the development process works. The thing is, you can't expect the Nintendo Switch to run this. You can't expect every environment to look like this, as well as all the renders for all the Pokemon in the game. Even if we have like 400 or 600 with a reduced dex, that is just completely unrealistic. And when you think about it, this 30-second render probably took the better part of a day for a dedicated computer to render out, just for a little bit of a cinematic scene. It's not possible. It's not something that can be expected, because what Game Freak does is they make a well-rounded game. They also have to worry about the competitive elements. They have to worry about the multiple attacking, defending, and just running animations and all the other interactions that happen inside of a main series Pokemon game, and it's going to be more spread out. You can't have as many individual little details added into a game as large as Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's why anyone that's putting down Game Freak over this and saying, oh, Bandai just makes the better Pokemon game, at worst, they're an idiot, but at the least, they're ignorant. And you need to fix that ignorance with the truth that's shown in this video. And even then, Pokemon Sword and Shield still looks great. It's the best looking main series Pokemon game we've had up until this point. New Pokemon Snap also looks great. They're great for different reasons, because they're different games trying to accomplish different things. There's almost immeasurably more stuff inside of Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's the more balanced game, whereas you have to make Pokemon Snap look as good as a Pokemon game can look. But even if you break down some of the other things, the guy that's talked about like, oh, Torchic torches an apple. Well, I mean, we also have very good individual animations for certain Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Snipe Shot is my favorite animation to come out of Pokemon so far. Pyro Ball looks incredible. Some of the other move changes, also amazing, and then some of the other details and tweaks that they've made to existing Pokemon, really good. Adds a lot of life, especially when you have like Pokemon following you. Way more detail than needed was put into how the Pokemon follow you in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like you look at Ice-Cube, it actually floats around and follows you. Toxapex is incredibly slow, and Porygon is just spazzing out the entire time. And there's dozens and dozens of other really good follow and run animations for Pokemon Sword and Shield. That's because when you look at the rest of it, the lore of Galar is amazing. Everything Game Freak has been doing over the last couple of games and generations has built more story, has built more expression into Pokemon than we've seen, because they're making really good games. So yeah, Pokemon Sword and Shield isn't missing any of the details that you would find otherwise in new Pokemon Snap. They're just expressed differently, but they still have the same effect by making really good games in the end. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.